of Lil Pilates, and in this video we are going to look at shoulder mobility, so scapular mobility. We are also going to look at scapulohumeral rhythm. A lot of times when we take arms overhead, sometimes we'll hear the cue of shoulders pulled out of the ears. And we're going to talk a little bit about shoulder blade, the mechanics of when the arms go overhead. Actually, those shoulder blades do have to move outward and upward on the back. So we'll talk a little bit about that too. So we are going to start on hands and knees, looking at some scap mobility work. So shoulder, pro and retraction. So on hands and knees, we'll do this first here. Sometimes pressing into the floor can be helpful to find a little bit of feedback. So I want you with the hands underneath the shoulders to soften your elbows and try to spiral the points of the elbows back in space from the back of the shoulder girdle. So trying to gather from here to spiral the elbows back in space. And then from here, I'm going to try to keep that organization in my arms. And I'm going to draw my shoulder blades together. My heart is going to drop towards the floor. So I'm in shoulder scap retraction. And then I'm going to press into my arms. And then I'm going to wrap my shoulder blades wide on my back, pressing into the hands, shoulder blades wrapping wide. My heart lifts away from the floor as a result. I am trying so hard, this is such a tight spot for me, to not round my spine to feel like my shoulder blades get wider. So keep a neutral and find the shoulder blades widening. So retraction, avoiding the ribs shearing forward, so keep gathering the low belly, front ribs up and in, and then protraction, shoulder blades wrapping wide. And then we settle in between those two. So a lot of times when we're on hands and knees, we get dumping into that wrist. We get that wrist pain because the muscle underneath our shoulder blade is not doing the work to keep us lifted up and away from the floor. So a lot of times when we start in our quadruped, maybe we start here, and then by the end of oppositional reach, we're all the way down here, and there's all this weight dumping into the wrist. So understanding that the shoulder blade, the muscles of the shoulder blade, can actually do some work to wrap the shoulder blades wide. This might feel really sticky to go between those two, and that's okay. It might for a while. Just going to work on that retraction, protraction. Can be really helpful for neck pain, thoracic mobility can be helpful, kind of just opening up that whole upper and mid-back shoulders for neck pain and that kind of stuff that we feel. So we can do that scapular mobility in quadruped like I just showed. We're going to explore a little bit more of this pro-retraction and the scapulohumeral rhythm on our backs. So laying on your back, if you have a foam roller that you can lay head to tail on, it can be really nice to do this laying on your roller. We can do it without though. So arms are going to lengthen up towards the ceiling, and then the palms face each other, and I'm trying to think about having a heavy arm bone into the shoulder socket. And then from here, I'm in my neutral spine, so just maintaining your neutral. I'm going to reach my fingertips towards the ceiling, and I'm going to feel the shoulder blades wrapping wide on the back. Again, I'm not rounding through my spine. My shoulder blades wrap wide, and then I retract, drawing my shoulder blades together and down, avoiding the ribs flaring. So keep this gathering. So retraction and protraction. I'm in protraction now, and retraction, mobilizing the shoulders on the floor. Feels a little bit funny, maybe without the roller, but exploring the two end ranges and then settling in between the two. So from here, I'm going to exhale to tuck my tail under and come into our imprint. So my low back is drawing into the mat. So now my whole spine is connecting into the mat. I'm going to inhale my arms overhead. And as I reach overhead, I want you to feel those shoulder blades spiral wide and up to allow my arms to reach overhead. As I do this, I want to again avoid the ribs coming away from the floor. So I keep everything in the front engaged to maintain the whole spine connected into the mat. And then I exhale to lift back up. So inhaling overhead, shoulder blades wrap wide and up. And then exhale, draw my arms up, shoulder blades draw together and down a little bit. So we'll do that one more time overhead, and then we're going to turn it into a circle. So you can play with mobilizing the arm in the shoulder socket, allowing those shoulders to elevate as you come overhead. What we want to avoid is a lot of upper trap engagement as the arms go overhead, but the shoulder blades themselves do get to move. Great. I'm going to bring the legs in towards my chest and come on up. So that will come, that kind of arm arc work. Do it a lot in standing work. Start with a roll down, allowing the arms to elevate up. We want to, again, keep the front ribs engaged, but there's not this feeling of, as we lift, pulling the shoulder blades down the back. We do actually want to find the shoulder blades moving wide and up on the back. All right, I hope that that video was informative, helpful. If it was or it wasn't, let me know. I'd love to hear your feedback, and I will see you next time. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe. Thank you. Bye.